Welcome to the quiz show that demands nothing less than perfection. Behind this screen are 4 contestants who'll be hoping their knowledge is flawless because one single mistake could give the game away. This is perfection. Welcome to Perfection, the quiz show where only perfect play is good enough. Behind me are the contestants. We call them the usual suspects. They're in our isolation room. In a moment, we'll find out which one of them has been randomly selected to join me here to play Perfection. They will then face a series of true or false statements. For example, if I said Tony Hart created the Blue Peter logo, would you say that's true or false? Well, if you'd said true, I can tell you you'd be right. Answering true or false might seem easy, but if the contestant gets a single answer wrong, their opponents, the usual suspects, will be allowed into the game to capitalise on their mistakes. So you know how the game works? Let's meet the usual suspects.
Hi, I'm Andrea. I'm from Nottingham. I'm an accountant and this is my first game.
Hi, I'm Ben. I'm from South East London and I'm a call centre manager and this is my first game.
Hello, I'm Louise. I'm from Bournemouth. I'm a bra fitter and this is my second game.
Hi, I'm Louise. I'm from Blackpool. I work as an employer liaison officer and this is my 4th game.
Best of luck to all of you as we now find out which one of you has been randomly picked to play Perfection. Louise L, it's you. Please come down and join me. Louise, welcome to the game. You work at Sixth Form College, right?
That's right, yeah.
And you volunteered to take a whole... How many did you take abroad?
32.
Do you know, I honestly think I would rather swim naked with sharks covered in Marmite than consider taking that many teenagers away abroad.
They were fine in the end. It was a good trip. They learnt a lot.
Because at that age, they just like, I want to go over there. They just go, don't they?
Yeah. Well, you get them free time, so if you're not back here at this point, then you don't get free time tomorrow, so...
And you're big on the environment and things like that?
Yeah. We run the sustainability group and the eco-action group as well.
Do you think this look like an environmentally friendly bunch up there, the usual suspects? Or,
Yeah, some of them.
Listen, they are now very definitely your enemies rather than your teammates. Their job is to stop you from winning the prize fund because your failure will mean the prize money rolls over to the next game where one of them could be down here sitting playing for a bigger total. Now, every game on Perfection is worth £1,000. Fortunately for you, the last game was won, so the prize fund is reset to £1,000, but £1,000 is good money by anybody's standards.
Yeah.
Come in, play a game, walk away with £1,000.
Yeah.
So what will you be spending it on?
Well, I bought a new house last year, which needs a lot of work doing, so maybe a bit towards that. Maybe a holiday with the girls in a few months.
All right, well, look, this is how the game works. You'll play 3 rounds, then a final. Each round that you achieve perfection will make the final easier for you. If, however, your performance is anything less than perfect, then the usual suspects here get a chance to step in and steal the round, making the final harder for you. More of that to follow later. Usual suspects, we're going to switch you off for now so you can't see or hear anything. And away they go. Louise, each round consists of 4 true or false statements. You'll be answering against the clock, and you'll only have 45 seconds. And once you've given an answer, your first answer, it will be locked in.
Okay.
Understand?
Yeah.
Then let's play Perfection. Round 1, your 45 seconds starts now. Porcupines are rodents.
I'll go for true on that one.
True. The golfer Bubba Watson won the 2014 US Masters.
I think I did watch it, so we'll go for true.
True.
Yeah.
Chris Pine stars in Jack Ryan's Shadow Recruit.
I don't think I've seen that or recognise the name, so I'll go for false.
False, and keep an eye on the time. Brighton is located on the east coast of the UK.
True.
True. There's been time to spare in the end. You've answered all 4 statements. How was that then?
Okay. C, I'm not sure on that at all. A, possibly true. I think B is correct.
All right, well, look, before we reveal how well you've done, it's time for us to bring back the usual suspects. Don't forget they'll be able to hear you. So these are the 4 statements, and next to them are Louise's answers. Let's start with the other Louise, shall we? What do you make of these answers?
Looking at them, I can tell straight away that D is wrong. Brighton is very truly on the south coast.
What do you think, Ben?
Yeah, Brighton's on the south coast. A, I'm not too sure about, and I wouldn't have a clue about B and C.
All right, very honest of you, Ben. Thank you very much. Andrea?
I'm with Ben. I'd say D is definitely wrong. A, I think is probably wrong, and I don't know about B or C.
Well, it's certainly not a vote of confidence for you there, Louise, from the usual suspects. You need to have answered all 4 statements perfectly to have won the round. Let's see how many are correct. 2 out of 4 is okay, but it's certainly not perfection, which means the usual suspects are in the game with a chance to steal. Of course, it relies on them being able to identify the 2 answers that they need to change. So, which 2 will it be, usual suspects?
We're all
Definitely
confident about D.
Yeah,
so,
definitely D.
what do you reckon on the others?
A was probably.
We were both thought A was a bit
False.
dodgy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go with that because that was my other one in my mind. So, we'd like to change A to false, please.
A changes from true to false, and
D from true to false, please.
D from true to false, leaving B and C as answered by Louise L. OK, usual suspects. Let's find out what the correct answers are. If the statement turns green, it's true. If it turns red, it's false. Porcupines are rodents, true or false? It's true, usual suspects. I'm afraid you cannot now achieve perfection. Can you still achieve perfection at home? Let's run through the rest of them, shall we? The golfer Bubba Watson won the 2014 US Masters, true or false? Yeah, that one's true. You were right on that one. Chris Pine stars in Jack Ryan's Shadow Recruit, true or false? That's true. That's the one you were looking to change. And Brighton is located on the east coast of the UK, true or false? Yeah, it's false. As you say, Louise, it is absolutely on the south coast. So, usual suspects, had you achieved perfection, you would now have the opportunity to make Louise's chance of winning the prize fund that much harder in the final. And let's show you how. Louise, appearing before you is your final board. These 6 blank spaces need to be filled with subject categories, and behind each category will be a true or false statement. Here are the final round category options, starting with motorsports, running on through comic novels, and on to Rob Brydon, with many more in between. Now, had you achieved perfection, you'd have the chance to add 2 categories of your choice to the board. And if the usual suspects had done the same, they could do it. But nobody won the round. So what do we do now? Well, the 2 categories that were due to be chosen will be carried over to the next round, meaning 4 categories will be on offer. Usual suspects? I wonder whether you'll get a chance in the next round. We'll see you then. Bye-bye. So now that they've gone, we can have a little chat about those. So which 2 are you quite keen to avoid?
Motorsport. And TV cooks.
All right, and of the ones that are there, the first 2 you'll be choosing?
70s music and musicals. It's not a great board, to be honest, for me. I've not seen The Godfather.
No, but you see, the trick is it's not so much the fact of whether your favourite subjects are on there, it's a matter of trying to avoid them choosing the very worst ones for you.
Yeah.
So keep on the ones that you might have a chance with, and the way to do that is to win a round. Well, you've still got a chance here, and there are 4 categories on offer, so this is a good round to win. Ready to press on?
Yeah.
Let's play round 2. Your 45 seconds start now. Elton John got married in the 1980s.
I think false.
False. In humans, the voice box is located in the bowel.
I think perhaps false on that one.
False.
Yeah.
Damascus is a city in Egypt.
I haven't been to Egypt, so I'll say false.
False. And finally, the play Under Milkwood is set in Cornwall.
True.
True. And you've answered all 4 statements. I'm guessing that there are a couple of guesses in there.
Yes. C. C is a guess. I'm not sure about D either, to be honest.
Well, before we reveal how well you've done, time to bring back the usual suspects. So here are the statements and the answers next to them. Let's start with Ben this time. Can you see anything wrong with that lot, or are they all perfect?
I'm no expert, obviously, but there's nothing I would change anyway.
Don't underestimate yourself, Ben. In general knowledge, you may well be an expert. We've yet to find that out. Andrea, what do you think?
I think she's done pretty well. The only one I would question is D. Not sure about that one. I think it may be
Louise?
wrong.
I've got to say there are 2 wrong on there. I'm pretty sure Elton John got married to a female first, and I think that was in the 80s. And Under Milkwood, I'm pretty sure is not in Cornwall. I think it's Wales.
There you go. You weren't sure whether to say out loud, were you? But in
No,
actual
I
fact,
had to
you were-
remember where it was. It's definitely Wales.
All right, well, let's find out, shall we? Louise, the moment of truth. Let's find out how many are correct. 2 out of 4. Again, not bad, but not good either, really, because the usual suspects are back in the game with a chance to steal again, if they can identify the 2 answers they need to change. I wouldn't worry too much. They didn't manage it first time round. Off you go. Have a chat.
I'm sure D's wrong as well.
Absolutely. I
Louise,
did
so-
it for English O level, so I can remember that now.
You could well be right about Elton John.
Yeah.
I thought it was the 70s then.
No. He married the lady first of all. I'm
Okay.
almost
I'm pretty sure B and
100%.
C
Very Louise.
are right. So.
So we're going to say, could you please change A from false to true, please?
A changes from false to true.
And D, true to false.
And D from true to false, leaving B and C as answered by Louise L. OK, usual suspects. Let's find out what the correct answers are. Elton John got married in the 1980s. True or false? True, yes. Yeah, absolutely. Anybody remember the name of the lady involved?
No.
Renata Blauer. Remember her? Remember
I
her?
do.
Yes, everybody remembering all of a sudden. In humans, the voice box is located in the bowel. True or false? Yes, of course, it's false. It's top of the windpipe. Damascus is a city in Egypt. True or false? Yeah, that's false. In actual fact, in Syria, Damascus. And the play Under Milk Wood is set in Cornwall. True or false? It's false. Congratulations, usual suspects. You have achieved perfection. Yeah, it's set in a fictional town in Wales, as you said, Louise. Quite right, too. So, Louise, the usual suspects have succeeded where you failed, and they've stolen the round. The usual suspects, you now have the opportunity to make Louise's chance of winning the prize fund of £1,000 much harder. Let's see the final board. Now, because you won the round, usual suspects, you've earned the right to choose 4 categories to add to the board. 2 from the first round and 2 from that round that you just won. So, how do you want to go about it?
Choose one each and then decide on one.
OK, you choose one first, Andrea.
I'd like to give Louise Crooners, please.
Crooners goes into the final. Ben?
Motorsport.
Motorsport goes in. Louise?
Divergent.
Divergent, and then one between you?
The Godfather. That's quite an old film, isn't it? Louise is young.
The Godfather, please.
Godfather makes the 4th category into the final. Congratulations, usual suspects. Despite my abusing you earlier, you actually managed to pull that one off, and very well played. You have won the second round. Time to switch you off, and we'll see you in round 3. Well, you didn't fancy motorsports. You said you'd never seen The Godfather.
Yeah, it's not looking great, isn't it?
The trick is to try and get a couple of the categories of your own here, so you get one last chance to do that in round 3.
Yeah, sure.
Ready to press on?
Yeah, I think
Good.
so.
Relax and play round 3, shall we? Here it comes. Your 45 seconds start now. The singer Ellie Goulding was born in Australia.
I thought she was British, but I'm not sure. I say false.
False. The Aegean Sea is part of the Mediterranean.
True.
True. Philip K. Dick wrote The Minority Report.
I've only seen the film, but I'd say false.
False. And finally, at the time of his death, Van Gogh was a millionaire.
I think a lot of paintings sold after his death, but I'm not sure, so I'll say false.
False. And with that, all 4 are answered. How was that?
Tricky, I think, yeah.
But you had a chance.
Yeah.
Well, let's find out, shall we? And we'll find out at least what the usual suspects have to say.
Yeah.
So here are the 4 statements, and next to them are Louise's answers. Andrea, has she achieved perfection?
I think she might have done this time, yes.
Louise, how do you think your namesake has done?
Terribly well. She's done brilliantly.
Vote of confidence there from the
Yeah,
usual
good,
suspects.
yeah.
It's the moment of truth. Let's find out how many are correct. Well, 3's better than the first 2 rounds.
Yeah.
It's an improvement. And if we had 7 more rounds to go, you feel like you're heading towards perfection at some
Yeah,
stage.
yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not this time, which means the usual suspects have a chance to step in and steal the round. But you, of course, need to identify the one answer you need to change. Which one?
I wonder whether B, is it part of the Mediterranean? I know it's in that area, but is it its own...
Yeah, isn't the Mediterranean Sea a sea? Would you ever see in a sea? You know what I mean?
Oh, I don't know.
I would now query the Minority Report because I've not read it, so I just thought to myself, you know.
Yeah,
Okay.
that doesn't ring a bell that awful.
Yeah.
I think...
What do you think?
I would agree with both of you on whatever.
Well, you have to find a decision.
Yes, you choose. No.
Ben, you have a casting vote and you're bailing out on it. I can't believe it. This is your chance to shine. Who are you going to go with?
Go with C.
Thank you. C changes from false to true, leaving A, B and D as answered by Louise L. Usual suspects. Let's find out what the correct answers are. The singer Ellie Goulding was born in Australia. Is that true or false? It is false. Actually born in the UK, in Herefordshire, in actual fact. The Aegean Sea is part of the Mediterranean. This was the other one you were talking about. Is that true or false? Yeah, that's true. Well, have you chosen the right one to change? Philip K. Dick wrote The Minority Report. True or false? Yes, it's true. It's a short story, but it was then made into a film. And at the time of his death, Van Gogh was a millionaire. True or false? And of course, that's false. Congratulations, usual suspects. You have achieved perfection. clear that Abby was relatively poor throughout his life, selling very few of his artworks. See, I told you to be more confident in yourself, Ben.
I'll listen to you more next time.
Yeah, you did plump the right side there. Bad news for you, I'm afraid. Louise, the usual suspects have succeeded where you failed and they've stolen around. Usual suspects, you now have the opportunity to make Louise's chances of winning the prize fund about as hard as they can be. Let's see the final board. 4 subject categories already chosen by you, the usual suspects, and because you won that last round, you get to choose the last 2 as well. So which 2 would you like?
1970s music.
1970s music, maybe. Astronomy, maybe.
Yeah, we'll go with 1970s music, please.
1970s music goes in.
And possibly astronomy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
And astronomy. Thank you very much, usual suspects. We now know our 6 final categories. They are crooners, motorsport, Divergent, The Godfather, 1970s music, and astronomy. OK, guys, well played. Time to switch you off for the final time. So, you wanted that, 1970s music?
Yeah, but you just don't know, do you, what the question's going to be?
And astronomy?
Yeah, you know, a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
So,
All right.
yeah.
Louise, for £1,000, it's time to play the final. Louise, this is the all-important final. If you can achieve perfection, you could be leaving with a prize fund of £1,000, which would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
If you fail, you'll be leaving with nothing, which would be great news for the usual suspects, as the money rolls over to £2,000 on the next game. So, let's play the final round. Louise, here are your final 6 categories. They are crooners, motorsport, Divergent, The Godfather, 1970s music, and astronomy. Now, you must answer all 6 statements correctly if you want to win the £1,000. Think carefully, there's no time limit, but once you've given an answer, your first answer, it will be locked in. Are you ready?
Yes.
OK, let's reveal your first statement. Please tell me whether you believe it to be true or false. Crooners. Michael Bublé is Canadian.
Quite confident that's true.
True.
Yeah.
Motorsport. Barry Sheene was a world rally champion in the 1970s.
It's a little bit before my time, that, Nick. I'm going to go for false.
False.
Yeah.
Divergent. Kate Winslet appears in the 2014 film Divergent.
Oh, I've seen it advertised. I think I'll go for false.
False.
Yeah.
The Godfather. The Godfather is a book by Mario Puzo.
I'm not sure on this one either. Go for true.
True.
Yeah.
1970s music. Quadrophenia is an album by The Who.
Oh, I bet a lot of people know this at home. I do recognise the name. Go for true.
True.
Yeah.
And finally, astronomy. Our sun is at the centre of the Milky Way.
Well, the Milky Way I thought was sort of a collection of stars. I'd say false on that one, yeah.
False.
Yeah.
And with that, you've answered all 6 statements and your answers are locked in. Remember, if there's one single mistake, you leave with nothing. So which ones are you worried about?
A lot of them. B, I've no idea on. C, I'm not too sure on. I think A is correct. So I'm not too confident on the board, to be honest.
All right, let's bring back the usual suspects and see what they have to say. So you can now see the final 6 statements, and next to them are Louise's answers. Louise, your answers are now locked in and you can't change them by yourself. But if you think you've made a mistake, you can open up the board with the help of the usual suspects. This will, of course, come at a cost. Usual suspects, I'm now going to ask you to tell me how well you think Louise has done, if you want to help, and if you do, how much it will cost her. Louise, who would you like to hear from first?
I think I'll hear from Ben.
OK, the ones I'm sure about, I'm sure you've got right, but I don't know the answers to all of them. So again, I'm not really going to be much use, unfortunately.
So he's not coming down, basically?
Yeah, I got that. Louise?
I'm in pretty much the same position. There are some I definitely know, you've done very well at, and others I just wouldn't feel confident for you or for me. So I'll have to pass it by this time.
All right.
Good luck.
Andrea?
I think you've definitely got one wrong, but there are a couple I'm too unsure on to offer to come and help you, so sorry, and good luck.
All right, Louise, well done. The usual suspects are willing to help you, so you are on your own.
Yeah.
£1,000 at stake, 6 answers away, and let's find out if you've achieved perfection. How do you think you've done?
I'm not too sure, to be honest.
Yeah, difficult to tell with a board like this, isn't it?
Yeah, big mix, yeah.
Well, let's start at the top and work our way through, shall we? Michael Bublé is Canadian. You said true. We're expecting this to turn green and get you off to a good start. Is it true or false? It is true. Very well done. And when I asked you what you were worried about, you said B and C. Let's leave them for the moment and come back to them. Let's move on to D. The Godfather is a book by Mario Puzo. You said true. We need this to turn green for you. Is it true or false? It is true. One of the only subjects when I asked you which ones would you choose was the 1970s music. So luckily the Usual Suspects chose that for you. And up came Quadrophenia is an album by The Who. You said this was true, and we expect this to turn green, and if it does, you're halfway to the money all by yourself. So, is it true or false? It is true. So far, so good. We now go on to astronomy, another subject they chose to try and trip you up. Our sun is at the centre of the Milky Way. You said you thought that this didn't sound right.
Yeah, I think when you look up, you see the sun, and then you can see the Milky Way, you know, at night, separate, but...
So you said false, we're expecting this to turn red. Is it true or is it false? It is false, of course it is. It's at the centre of our solar system.
Yeah.
So what an interesting position we found ourselves in. 4 out of 4 so far, and we come back to the 2 that you were more worried about. So let's go to B and start with that one. Barry Sheene was a world rally champion in the 1970s. Now, you said this was false. If this turns red, you are 1 away from the £1,000 all on your own and without the help of the Usual Suspects, and despite them setting you 6 categories to try and trip you up. If, however, it turns green, it means the money rolls over for the Usual Suspects and it becomes a £2,000 game next time round. So, Barry Sheene was a world rally champion in the 1970s. You said false. We need this to turn red. Is it true or false? It's false. Very famously, world motorcycling champion. So, the Usual Suspects set you 6 categories to try and make life difficult for you. You've answered 5 correctly so far. We're on to the 6th and final one. Kate Winslet appears in the 2014 film Divergent. You said false. If this turns red, you walk out of here with £1,000 and you and the girls go on holiday. If it turns green, the money rolls over for the Usual Suspects. Have you seen the film?
No.
No, that's the difficulty, isn't it? So you had to take a bit of a guess at this, and it's on a 50-50 guess one way or the other. Kate Winslet appears in the 2014 film Divergent. Is it true or false for £1,000? It's true. It's true.
Close.
Really, in the end, if you haven't seen the film, it has to be a guess one way or the other. Yeah. And on a 50-50 chance, the flip of a coin, you plumped the wrong way on this occasion.
Yeah.
Bad news for you, it means you haven't achieved perfection and you won't be taking the £1,000 home. However, it's great news for the Usual Suspects as the prize fund rolls over to the next game, where one of you could be playing for a total of £2,000. Did any of you know the answer to that one?
No, I would have definitely said false, actually.
She played a good game, didn't she?
She
Brilliant.
did.
Brilliant.
OK, you know, praise indeed from the Usual Suspects. You enjoyed playing?
Yeah, it's been a great day, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Louise, please. Right, it's now time to meet the next Usual Suspect, hoping to play perfection today. Usual Suspect, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Richie from Cramlington, and I'm a business change manager.
Welcome, Richie, and best of luck to all of you as we now find out which one of you has been randomly picked to play perfection. Andrea, it's you. Please come down and join me. Andrea, welcome to the game. You're big into yoga, is that right?
I love yoga, yes.
But it's supposed to be good for heart rate and...
Oh, and it's very good for your mind as well, Nick. Very relaxing.
Right.
Yeah.
You have a very specific idea of what the perfect house would be if you could have the perfect house as well.
Yeah, well, I'd love a big garden because I love sheep. I'd like to keep sheep and I'd like to be by the sea.
I think that's technically a farm, isn't it, once you actually start
Well,
having...
no, because I wouldn't sell the meat. They'd just be my pets.
You can't have sheep as pets.
Of course you can. They've got beautiful faces. They're very intelligent.
All right, I'll take your word for it. We better get on with the show. Andrea, it's now you versus the Usual Suspects. They were your teammates. They're now your enemies. Here's the good news. Nobody won the last game, so the prize fund currently stands at £2,000. Not quite enough for a house by the sea, but
No.
so what are you going to spend the money on?
Well, I'm going on holiday quite soon, so it would make some lovely spending money for lots of ice creams. So I'm going to Italy.
No, very nice. The nice thing about Italy is they serve ice cream until about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, they do, yes.
I think it's very civilised, that.
Yes.
Anyway, 3 rounds and a final to come. Usual suspects, we're going to switch you off for now so you can't see or hear anything. But as soon as Andrea makes a mistake, you will, of course, be back in the game. Ready to get started?
I think so, yep.
Then let's play perfection. Round 1, your 45 seconds start now. Vincent Kompany is a top-ranked tennis player.
Never heard of him, so I think that's false.
False. Anito Peak is the highest peak in the Balkan Mountains.
True.
True. Bruce Willis is entirely hairless.
False.
False. And finally, Eats, Shoots and Leaves is a book by Lynn Truss.
I've heard of the book. I don't know who wrote it. I'll say true.
True, and with plenty of time to spare, you've answered all 4 statements. How did that feel?
A couple of guesses in there, but we'll see.
Well, you can't know everything about everything, can you? So maybe it's worked out. Before we reveal exactly how well you've done, time to bring back the usual suspects. So here are the 4 statements, and next to them are the answers. Let's start with Louise. What do you think?
Do you know, I have not a clue, but what I'd be interested to know is the answer to C.
Yes, I can see why. Ben, what do you think?
Same old story, Nick, I'm afraid. I'm not entirely sure at all on any of them, in fact. So,
OK. Richie, do you share the puzzlement of your fellow usual suspects?
I do, yeah, to a certain degree, yeah. They are quite difficult questions. I think C she will have right. The last one I'm not sure about. I'm not sure about the intros.
So they've got them all puzzled up there. Andrea, it's the moment of truth. We need to find out how many you've got right. Three out of 4 is not bad, but it's not perfection.
No.
Which means the usual suspects have a chance to steal the round. Although I wouldn't hold your breath in view of what they said so far, but you never know. Usual suspects, which one do you want to change?
What did you say? You originally said D.
D was the only one I was unsure about.
Right.
I'm not sure she wrote that, but...
Yeah, let's go with...
OK.
It's all on your
Yeah.
shoulders.
We'll go for D, please. Can you change that to false, please, Nick?
D changes from true to false, leaving A, B and C as answered by Andrea. Not so much a decision as casting the blame at you, Richie, I think, if the decision goes badly. OK, let's have a look at those answers in more detail, shall we? Vincent Kompany is a top-ranked tennis player. Is that true or false? Yes, it's false. He's a footballer. Anito Peak is the highest peak in the Balkan Mountains. True or false? False. It's the highest mountain in the Pyrenees. That's the one you were looking for. So you haven't achieved perfection and you haven't stolen the round. I wonder whether you can still achieve perfection at home. Let's carry on, shall we? Bruce Willis is entirely hairless. True or false? Yes, false. Yeah. I mean, he hasn't got much hair on his head anymore, but he, got whiskers and chest hair and various other things. It makes him sound like one of those weird cats, doesn't it? The hairless Bruce Willis. Moving on. Eats, Shoots and Leaves is a book by Lynn Truss. True or false? Yeah, that one's actually true. Now, usual suspects, had you achieved perfection, you would now have the opportunity to make Andrea's chances of winning the prize fund that much harder. Let's have a look at your final board, shall we? These 6 blank spaces appearing need to be filled with subject categories. Here are your final round category options, starting with Hugh Grant, running through Mohicans, golf and on to Welshman, with many more in between. Now, because neither side won the round, the 2 categories that were due to be chosen will now be carried over to the next round, meaning 4 categories will be on offer. Usual suspects. A bit average there, to be honest. If it's on the school report, I would say could try harder. We'll see you in the next round. Right, now they've gone, let's have a chat about that list, shall we? 2 that you will be choosing when you get the chance.
I'd like UK geography and probably fruit,
And fruit, and 2 you're quite keen to avoid.
photographers and Mohicans.
OK, well, look, the way to avoid those is to get in charge of the situation, win a round, and especially this one, because there's 4 categories on offer. Could make all the difference here. Ready to play on?
I am, yeah.
Then let's play round 2. Your 45 seconds start now. Keanu Reeves was born in Beirut in 1964.
I think he's younger than that, so false.
False. Some sea snails can grow up to a foot in length.
False.
False. Barcelona is built on the estuary of the Tagus River.
True.
True. And finally, If You Wait is a 2013 album by London Grammar.
I know that's true.
True. And with loads of time to spare, you've answered all 4. Couple of guesses?
Yeah.
All right, no reason for the usual suspects to know that. Before we reveal how well you've done, let's bring them in and have a chat. So here are the 4 statements, and next to them are Andrea's answers. in view of the way it went last time, you might as well start with Richie this time. What do you think? How's she done?
It's a very difficult one, this one. The only one I would probably change is B. I would guess that they did grow up to a foot in length.
Louise?
I'm going to say B as well, because having seen the size of some of the jellyfish that are now on Dorset beaches, I can only guess that sea snails grow huge as well. Having said that, I'm not convinced the either's either, so, you know, it's not a good one for me either.
Usual suspects find it quite tough at the moment. Nonetheless, Andrea, the moment of truth, let's find out how many are correct. Ooh, appropriate sound there, to be honest. Ooh. Yeah, that's...
Not even close.
However, once again, I wouldn't worry too much. We go over to the usual suspects to discuss this. It could take a while. You need to change 3 answers, but which 3?
I think we all agree B.
Definitely
B.
B.
Okay.
Yeah.
C, I'm not too sure that that's correct. One that I think we should change that to false. But
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, what about recent albums? Does anyone heard of London Grammar?
I've heard of them, but I'm not too sure on if that's
I'm not
the title of their album.
Well, I think we've definitely got to change B from false to true.
Yeah.
B changes from false to true, and?
We'll plump with C changing from true to false, please.
C from true to false. And then which one of the other 2?
D, do you think? Oh, no,
I don't know.
know.
I think it might be A, actually. I think maybe he is.
Don't know.
I'll go with Ben. I'll say A. Let's change that from false to true, please.
A changes from false to true, leaving D as answered by Andrea. Usual suspects, let's find out what the correct answers are. Keanu Reeves was born in Beirut in 1964. True or false? You're absolutely true. Deadly, Ben. You are. Very well done. Some sea snails can grow up to a foot in length. True or false? True. The jellyfish led you in the right direction, Louise, there. Barcelona is built on the estuary of the Tagus River. True or false? False. Absolutely right. Lisbon is built on the Tagus estuary. And If You Wait is a 2013 album by London Grammar. True or false? Absolutely true. Congratulations, usual suspects. You have achieved perfection. Well, I withdraw my earlier insult. You did brilliantly there. Very well done. Andrea, as you can see, the usual suspects have succeeded where you failed and they've stolen the round. Usual suspects, you now have the opportunity to make Andrea's chances of winning the prize fund of £2,000 a good deal harder. Let's see the final board and you'll see how. Because you won that round, you've earned the right to choose 4 categories, 2 from round 1 and 2 from that round that you just won. So how do you want to do this?
You choose one, Richie.
I'll choose one. Photographers.
Photographers goes in.
I'm going to go with gold, I think.
Gold goes into the final. Louise?
I'm going to go with meat.
Meat makes it through, and one more from the 3 of you.
Mohicans?
Mohicans, yeah. Yeah.
Mohicans, please.
And Mohicans goes into the final. Congratulations, usual suspects. Very well played. You've won the second round. Time to switch you off. We'll see you in round 3. Well, that's not good, is it?
No, they picked the 2 I didn't want.
That's a bit of a worry. That photographers and selling gold, meat, Mohicans. What do you make of those?
Golden meat might be okay.
All right. Well, it'd be nice to get a couple of your own categories in there, wouldn't it?
It would be lovely, yeah.
Let's make this last one to remember, yes?
OK.
OK, let's play round 3. Your 45 seconds starts now. Natalie Portman appears in the Thor movies.
True.
True. The word beneficial is an adjective.
True.
True. Gussie Fink-Nottle was an 18th century Prime Minister.
True.
True. And finally, Trudy Styler is the wife of Sir Paul McCartney.
False.
False. And with loads of time to spare, there's the 4 answers staring back at you. Happy with that?
Happier than I
Happier.
was last time. But it couldn't get much worse.
Trust me, it could. There is the dreaded 0 scores, but no, maybe you've done better this time. Before we reveal how well you've done, time to bring back the usual suspects. So here are the 4 statements, and next to them are Andrea's answers. Ben, has she achieved perfection?
I wouldn't say so, no. I think C is probably incorrect.
What do you think, Richie?
I'm thinking adjective is a describing word, so I would think B was incorrect.
All right, then. Andrea, the moment of truth. You need to have answered all 4 statements perfectly to have won the round. Let's see how many are correct. 3 out of 4.
So
It's close. It is. But as they say, no cigar. Unfortunately, it's over to the usual suspects who have a chance to steal the round from you and complete your pain. All you need to do is identify the one that you need to change. Which is it?
How sure are you about B?
I thought an adjective was a describing
Yeah,
word,
I
and
agree with
beneficial
you there.
isn't a describing word as such.
Okay.
I've got no idea about C. What you?
You thought
what
C was
mentioned?
weird.
Yeah, I know a bit about 18th century politics, and I've never heard of Gussie Fink Nottle, but I couldn't be 100% sure.
That's good enough for me. I think we'll have to change C from true to false, please. No?
Going with C. Again, you're leaning with Ben's decision
what
again,
can I
are you? He's
say?
been your lucky talisman so far, hasn't he? So C is changing from true to false, leaving A, B and D as answered by Andrea. OK, let's see what the correct answers are. Natalie Portman appears in the Thor movies. True or false? Yes, true. You knew that to be true all the way along, didn't you?
I did.
Andrea, the word beneficial is an adjective. True or false? True, and it is, if you think about it, it is a describing word, if you think about it, beneficial. Anyway, Gussie Fink Nottle was an 18th century PM. This is the key one. Has Ben done it again? True or false? Yes, it is false. He's a character that appears in the works of P.G. Wodehouse. So we move on to Trudy Styler is the wife of Sir Paul McCartney. True or false? It's false. Congratulations, usual suspects. You have achieved perfection. She's the wife of Sting, in actual fact. Gordon Sumner's real wife. Andrea, the usual suspects have succeeded where you failed and they've stolen the round. Usual suspects, you now have the opportunity to make Andrea's chance of winning the prize fund much harder. Let's see the final board, shall we? Here it comes. Now, because you won the round, you've earned the right to choose the last two categories. So which two would you like?
I would say J.D. Salinger.
Okay. And golf, maybe? Does Andrea look like she knows a lot about golf? I'm not so sure, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'll go with them too.
Golf, please.
Golf
And,
goes into the final and
J.D. Salinger, please.
And J.D. Salinger. OK, we now know our 6 final categories. They are photographers, gold, meat, Mohicans, golf, and J.D. Salinger. OK, guys, time to switch you off. Very well played. Well, they couldn't have made it more difficult, could they, really?
I don't know, it's not my ideal board, but it's not a disaster.
Yeah, quite right, too. Andrea, for £2,000, it's time to play the final. Andrea, this is the all-important final. If you can achieve perfection, you could be leaving with a prize fund of £2,000. If you fail, you'll be leaving with nothing, which would be great news for the usual suspects, as one of them could be playing for a rollover of £3,000 for the next game. So, let's play the final round. Andrea, here are your final 6 categories. They are photographers, gold, meat, Mohicans, golf, and J.D. Salinger. Now, you must answer all 6 statements correctly if you want to win the £2,000. Think carefully, there's no time limit. But once you've given an answer, your first answer, it will be locked in. You ready?
Yeah, I am.
Then let's reveal your first statement. Please tell me whether you believe it to be true or false. Photographers. David Bailey is the ex-husband of Catherine Deneuve.
No idea. I'll go false.
False. Gold. Gold is the heaviest element on the planet.
I would say that's false.
False. Meat. Brisket is a cut of meat from the rear of a cow.
It's definitely from a cow. And rump is from the rear, but there could be brisket as well. I'll go false again.
False. Mohicans. Robert De Niro had a Mohican haircut in Raging Bull.
Again, I've got no idea. They've picked the categories very well. I'll go true.
True. Golf. The golfer Gary Player was known as the Black Knight.
I know very little about golf, but I've got a feeling he might have been the White Knight. So I'll go false.
False. And finally, J.D. Salinger. J.D. Salinger published over 50 novels.
I know of one that he published, but did he do another 49? False.
False. And with that, you've answered all 6 statements, and those answers are locked in. Remember, if you've made one single mistake, you go home with nothing. So which ones are you worried about?
All of them?
Tough board.
Yeah, hopefully I haven't got them all wrong.
Well, hopefully you've got them all right.
Well,
That'd be
hopefully,
even nicer,
yeah.
wouldn't it?
That'd
Let's
be
bring
good.
back the usual suspects and see what they have to say. You can now see the final 6 statements, and next to them are Andrea's answers. Andrea, your answers are now locked in, and you can't change them by yourself. But if you think you may have made a mistake, you can unlock the board with the help of the usual suspects. This will, however, come at a cost. So, Andrea, who would you like to hear from first?
Richie, please.
Yeah, it was a difficult round. I think you've got one definitely wrong. 2 I'm unsure about, but I don't think I'd be prepared to come down because I'm unsure about the rest.
Who's next?
Ben, please.
Yeah, sorry, Andrea. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. There's a couple maybe I know the answers to, but no, sorry, to be really unhelpful.
Okay. And Louise.
Similarly, I'm ever so sorry. I couldn't be confident in any of my answers for you, so I really wish you the best of luck.
All right, well, it looks like there's no help for you on this one. You're on your own. £2,000 at stake, 6 answers away. You may well have done this all on your own. We're about to find out. Let's find out if you've achieved perfection. Yeah, if the statement turns green, it's true. If it turns red, it's false. Where should we start?
Bottom to top.
You want to go bottom to
I'm
top, do
happy
you?
with the bottom, yeah.
You're happy with the bottom half
Yeah.
of it? All right, well, let's start there then, shall we? Down at the bottom there, J.D. Salinger published over 50 novels. You said you could only remember one, so you said false. We're hoping this turns red for you and gets you off to a good start. Is it true or false? It is false. You know, interestingly, Catcher in the Rye was his only full-length novel.
Well, that's the one I know.
Yeah, there you go. So, good start, well done you. The golfer, Gary Player, was known as the Black Knight. Now, you thought you'd heard of the White Knight, possibly.
Maybe.
But you were good enough to fess up to the fact that your golfing knowledge is not huge. We'd like this to turn red for you because you said false. So, the golfer, Gary Player, was known as the Black Knight. Is that true or false? It's true, I'm afraid.
Never mind.
Yeah, it means you can't achieve perfection and you will not be taking home the money. I wonder whether you can still achieve perfection at home. Let's continue on through. And let's deal with that one as well. He was known as the Black Knight because he used to wear black almost all the time.
All right.
All right, let's press on. Robert De Niro had a Mohican haircut in Raging Bull. You said you thought this was true. Is it true or false? False, I'm afraid. He had a Mohican in Taxi Driver. Raging Bull, he was the boxer. Brisket is a cut of meat from the rear of a cow. You said that you thought it might be the rump, so you went with false. We'd like this to turn red for you. True or false? Yes, it is false. It's from the breast area of the cow, brisket. Gold is the heaviest element on the planet. You said this was false. Is it true or false? Yes, it is false. There are others. Uranium, for example, is heavier. And then finally, David Bailey is the ex-husband of Catherine Deneuve. You said this was false. We could do with a red here. True or false? True.
Oh, well. At least you didn't miss out by one.
No, that's true. Yeah, that's probably more frustrating, isn't it? And to be honest, again, given that all the subject categories were chosen for you, to get 3 out of 6 is not bad going at all. So, good news for you, usual suspects. The prize fund rolls over to the next game where one of you could be playing for a total of £3,000. Really tough board you set for her there, wasn't it, the usual suspects? Would any of you done any good with that particular bunch of... No.
No, not at all.
They needed the money to roll over and they played it very well. Andrea, it means that you failed to achieve perfection, which means you go home with nothing other than our thanks. You enjoy the game?
I've had a great time, thank you. I've really enjoyed it. So
Let's hear it for Andrea, everybody. Well, that's all we have time for. Please join us next time when our usual suspects have the chance to play again, this time for £3,000. But remember, on this show, we only pay for perfection. Goodbye.